Now, one thing I like to tell people is focus on the U15 schools, right? So Canada has 15 public universities that are mostly research inclined. Hi guys, how is everyone doing? This is Joy Chuku Osazwa, aka Mrs. O. I won't be calling my full name all the time, so get used to that. And guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited to be shooting this video today. Hey God, if I just you guys the story of all the times I've been saying I'm gonna shoot a video, but finally I'm doing this and I'm excited. Today I want to talk about, securing funding, scholarship to come, for your grad school in Canada. So I'll be sharing tips and hacks from my own personal experience and also from the experiences of so many other persons that I have been part of their success. So fasten your seatbelts, get your popcorn, get your Coke, get soda, whatever. Watch this video till the end. Guys, if you're a new subscriber, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now I am motivated, so I'm going to be bringing you guys content. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for supporting me. Please like, share this video, comment. If you comment it, I think it's gonna pop out more and more people can benefit from this video, and I will also benefit from the video on the long run. So support Mrs. O, guys. And I hope you watch this video till the end. So I'll share, like I said, all of my experience and all the tips and all the hacks and things that I think would help you if you plan to secure funding or scholarship to study in Canada. So I have jotted down some points because I don't want to forget anything that I'm telling you guys. So you're going to be seeing me looking down at my phone most of the time. And yeah, so let's get started. If you plan to come to study in Canada, right, especially if you're looking for funded program, most of the funding available to study in Canada is for grad school. Canada has very few scholarships for undergraduates, but I've already made a video about that. So if you're looking for funding for undergraduate studies in Canada, please look up my previous videos. I don't have a lot of videos, I just have 9, so it's easy for you to search for it, right? Look up the previous videos and watch. This one is mostly for grad school, people who want to come to Canada for grad school, funded grad school program. So again, before I start, I would like to say funding is very competitive. Funding, scholarship, whatever you want to call it, is super competitive in Canada. And you know why? Because Canada has very few schools, right? Canada has about, I think, less than 200 schools or so, or maybe 250, I'm not sure. But Canada has fewer schools compared to places like US, for example. US has like thousands of schools, 5,000. So you see more opportunities in the US compared to Canada. So that's why it's very competitive. And because right now a lot of people want to come study in Canada because of the stability it gives you after you graduate, or the ease to PR and then your citizenship. So everybody wants to come to Canada. So it makes it really hard. You find out that the supply is way lesser than the demand, right? So number one, it's important that scholarship, securing funding is very competitive in Canada. So you want to buckle your seat belt, you want to fasten it, if you're gonna go on this journey. So it's also important for you to know what kind of funding am I gonna access, because that allows you position yourself, right? So there are different ways, not a lot. You have three different types of scholarship or funding that you can get to study in Canada. The first one is the external scholarship. So that's scholarship that you can get from anywhere. It could be from an organization. It has nothing connected to the school. So it could be an organization, it could be your local government from your village, it could be your country, whatever, but it's external, right? So you can get scholarship from anywhere outside your school to come study in Canada. It could be a Canadian organization, it could be a non-Canadian organization, right? For example, those of us who work in tertiary institution in Nigeria, that there is this TET fund. So TET fund is like a funding for tertiary, how do I put it? You understand what I'm saying? So lecturers and instructors in universities and colleges in Nigeria are able to access this TET fund to come study in Canada. So when I was coming to study, I I'd applied for TET fund before and I didn't get it. And the reason why I did not get it is very flimsy. So when I was going to come here for my PhD, I didn't bother to go and apply. You know, all the bureaucracy, all the who you know stuff. Let's not go into details. But yeah, TET fund, some people will say, oh, they got from maybe PTDF. Is that what it's called? I don't know. But yeah, so it could be external. That's my point. I think there's another scholarship called the Schlumberger. Yeah, the Schlumberger women scholarship for Schlumberger. I hope I called it well. Yeah, it's usually for women who want to do a PhD anywhere in the world. I think even Canada is included, because I know one of my friends who stays in Ottawa, she got the Schlumberger scholarship, and it pays well, like 50k USD every year, right? So those are external scholarships, so you can apply for those ones, right? I'll try to see if I can get a list of external scholarship that, you know, people from Africa or Nigeria can apply to. Maybe that would help. And at this point, if you're a woman and you want to reduce the competition, you can apply for women-based scholarships. So there are scholarships like this Schlumberger, I think it's just for women. So if you apply for scholarship that is, you know, gender specific, you might reduce the competition, you know, as against applying to a scholarship that is open for everyone. Then the second kind of scholarship is the university-based scholarship. Now, a lot of schools in Canada have what we call the entrance scholarship for new international students. It might not be a lot. I think it varies, right? For some schools, you can even get as low as $500, and for some schools, it will fund, you know, your whole tuition and everything. So it varies. So you want to find out the details of the school's entrance scholarship before you apply. And now for this kind of scholarship, you don't need to submit a different application. It's the same application you submit for your admission into the school. That's the same one that they will evaluate to know if you qualify for the entrance scholarship or not. So when you're filling the form, you're going to get to the point where they say, do you need scholarship? Do you require a scholarship for this program you're applying? So you can either say yes or no, right? So that's how you apply for that kind of scholarship. And again, sometimes your SOP, your transcript, your reference letter might just speak volume, you know, and they give you the scholarship. So the third one, which is what I'm going to dwell about in this video, is the research grant. It could be research grant, TA, that's teaching assistantship grant, right? So that's the kind of scholarship that I have in Canada, and that's why I'm going to talk more about it, because I think there are more of research grants compared to the other two type of scholarship that I've mentioned, right? So I'm going to be sharing tips and hacks that you might find useful for gaining or for accessing research grants. So the first one is, before I go on, I like to say that most research grants are available for research-based program. I'm sure it makes sense to you because it's research grant, so it's usually for research-based program. So if you're doing a course-based program, don't waste your time applying for a research grant, because you probably not get it, right? Those research grants are available for those who want to come to Canada to do a research. So you can do research at master's level or PhD, right? So again, most research are available in STEM courses and maybe humanities, social sciences, right? That's where you get like a lot of research, and then the fundings go into those areas. But those who are like non-STEM, or what example am I going to use? People in accounts, you know, those kind of courses, they hardly are able to access research grants, because they don't have a lot of research going on in those fields, right? So I just want you to know that. So I'm not saying that you cannot get, because I've heard people say they've gotten grants. Probably they got the university-based grants, but not research grants, right? So first of all, when you want to get a research grant, it's important you send out cold emails, because these research grants are under the jurisdiction of a professor in the school. So first of all, you want to access the professor and make sure that the professor is fine working with you before you go ahead to apply for admission, right? You don't want to go waste your money. You know, in Canada you have to pay like $100 or $120 to apply to a school, so you want to be sure that you have someone who is willing to work with you first before you go ahead and submit that application. So you have to send cold emails to prospective supervisors in the school you're looking at going to, and you also can apply to, because sometimes these professors advertise the position. So if I'm a professor and I have a grant and I'm looking for maybe 2 master's students, 1 PhD, I'm going to advertise it either on the career page of the school's website. It could be on LinkedIn, on my LinkedIn page. It could be on Twitter. It could be wherever, right? So you have to connect with those people on all of those platforms and search. You can even just do a simple search on Google. Now sometimes you will not see some of these positions on Google, so you want to go look at like Indeed. You know, Indeed.ca is a place where, you know, job ads go on from time to time, so you can also, you know, sign up with Indeed, be on Twitter, LinkedIn, and like I said, the career section of the school. So that will be very useful. Now, one thing I like to tell people is focus on the U15 schools, right? So Canada has 15 public universities that are mostly research inclined. I don't know if that's the right word, but they have a lot of research grants. They get like 80% of the money that is allocated for research, right? So you want to focus on those U15 schools. I'll just list them. We have the Dalhousie University, McGill University, McMaster University, Queen's University, University of Alberta, University of British Columbia, University of Calgary, University of Manitoba, University of Ottawa, University of Saskatchewan, University of Toronto, University of Waterloo, University of Western Ontario, Université de Montreal, University of Montreal, and University of Laval, I hope. So guys, you can apply, you can channel, you know, most of your research on the schools, because they have the most research grants. So you get most professors in that. In fact, sometimes the research grant those schools get is not for a particular professor. It's for the school to run research. So if you just go to the professor, even if they don't have their own personal research grants, they can accept you, and then you'll be funded from the pool of research grants that the school has. That's why most times your people who talk about these things would say focus on the U15 school. Now, I don't want you to disservice yourself by just focusing on the U15 school. I would say expand your search. Spread your tentacles. Don't just focus on the U15 school. My school is not a U15 school, you know, it's just another school, but we also have research grants in my school. We have professors who have millions of dollars in research grants, right? So what I like to advise people is get a list of professors, all the professors in Canada that can possibly supervise you for the research program you're looking at. I'm going to dwell on this point for a bit. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, Canada has few schools. So it's very easy for you to scan through all the schools and get a list of all the professors you know you can fit into their research area, right? Get all the list, have a list. At the end of the day, you might have like 50 professors on your list or 100 professors on your list, which is not too much if you're asking for someone who is serious about securing funding in Canada, right? So how do you come about the list? You start your search from Google. Very simple. I'll give an example with myself. I studied fisheries aquaculture, that's my background, but I know I'm able to work in pharmacology, I'm able to work in marine biology, I'm able to work in microbiology, I'm able to work with someone from biology. So I know that in all of this field, I'll find professors who are doing something that I am interested in, or something that I am skilled at, or something that I'm willing to learn, right? So you start your search from saying schools in Canada offering PhD, schools in Canada offering biology, PhD in biology, schools in Canada offering PhD in microbiology, schools in Canada. So that's how to start. That's a good way to start. So look for all the schools in Canada that are offering PhD or masters, whatever it is that you're looking for, in the field of interest, right? In your field of interest. Now, another way to go about that search is identify research areas within your field that you know you can do. The fact that I am under fisheries and aquaculture doesn't mean that I cannot do a research in biology, because biology will be teaching something about maybe like an organism, and I know that I can work with that because at the end of the day, fish is an organism, right? So yeah, so don't just limit your opportunities. Don't limit yourself and say, oh, because I studied fisheries and aquaculture, I must just focus on schools. Because if you go and Google schools in Canada offering fish, I don't think you would see more than 2 or 3 or even, yeah, you won't see a lot. You might see those courses under biochemistry, it might be under food science, it can be under agric. So you have to scan through everywhere, make sure that you collate all the professors that can possibly supervise you, right? So the way I like to do it is go on Google, search for schools in Canada offering PhD in so and so course, schools in Canada offering PhD. We have people from vet in my lab, we have people from pharmacy in my lab. So imagine, and my lab is a microbiology lab, and that microbiology lab is under marine science, marine biology. It's not even like, you know, on its own. It's under, if you go and search for microbiology in Memorial University, you won't see it. So it's under marine biology, and marine biology is under ocean science. So you see how tricky these things are. So that's why you need to search everywhere. Don't just dwell on the name of that program that you're looking for. So yeah, by the time you get all of those schools, you now go to the website of each of the schools and now start looking at the faculty members, because once you go into the website of every school, you will see and you go to that department, you see all the faculty members, you'll see their names. Sometimes you'll be lucky and you'll see some say open to supervising someone, so you can contact them immediately, and some will say, oh no, they are not open. Whether they say they are open or not open, get the list of all of them. So long as they are doing something you know you can do or something you can fit into, get their emails, get their names. I like to tell people to have an Excel sheet, names, the name of the school, the name of the professor, the name of the school, or the name of the school, the name of the professor, the research interest, their email address, and then the results, or maybe status, just to know when you've reached out to them, like remark of how far you've gone with that particular person. So that will help you a lot comb all the areas. So by the time you get all those names in each of those schools, again, Canada doesn't have a lot of schools, so don't worry, you won't get more than say 50 schools. You won't. So it's not that you'll be going to the website one by one. No, they're I think when I did mine, I got like, was it 5 or 10 schools, right? That was what I worked with. So it wasn't a lot. And at the end of the day, I think I had about 50 professors that I reached out to, right? So yeah, that exercise will be very helpful. Then I'll stop there for now. I'll talk about cold email for a bit. Your cold email must sell you well. So after you have the list of these professors, the next thing is you start sending them the cold email, right? You don't want to send them a cold email that doesn't have any substance. You want to send them a well-written cold email. It must sell you. This thing is competitive, right? Remember that as you're writing your cold email, remember that this thing is very competitive. I'm not the only one writing. There are people with first class from all over the world that are writing to the state. Do you know how many emails they get every year? Or every year is too far. How many emails they get like every week, right? So you want to make sure that you sell yourself well enough for the professor to be willing to have another chat with you, or even just be willing to respond to you and say, okay, fine, I'm going to accept you, stuff like that, right? So there are samples of cold email all over social media, plenty. It's in plenty. So I see a lot of people stereotyping cold emails, sending the same cold emails, and I'm like, okay, the professor is going to even just know from your cold email that you copied it, that is not original. So while you're using those things as templates, those cold email samples, make sure that you're being original, right? I've also posted samples of cold email on my social media handle, where I share resources for prospective grad school students and even undergraduate students who want to study abroad. So go check my Instagram page at Study with Mrs. O. I'm going to put a link in the description box. Go follow and just look at what I'm doing there. I'm doing a lot of good things, guys. Go follow. Okay, so if you're interested, go look it up. And just know that a badly written cold email will not get the professor to respond to you. Yes, they will not respond to you because they are very, very busy, right? So you want to make sure that you're sending the right cold emails and that your cold email is on point. Yes, guys, go follow at Study with Mrs. O. There's a cold email I saw from somewhere. I'm going to post the sample on my page. I think that is a very unique cold email, like one of the most unique cold emails I have seen since I started seeing samples on social media. Yes, I'm going to share that so you guys can use it as a template as well. So sometimes your cold emails are good, right? There's nothing wrong with your cold email, but for some reason maybe the professor is the professor's lab is full, or the professor has a lot of students that they are working with at the moment and they can't take in more people. Sometimes they don't have grants. You know, it could be any reason, it could be personal reason, maybe the professor is going on sabbatical or whatever. So sometimes it's not because your cold email is bad, it's just because the professor is not willing to take you. At that point, if the person has reached out to you and say, oh, sorry, I'm not able to take you because of this, you can tell them, oh, I would love a referral. I mean, if you can refer me to anyone, that would be great. You know, or you can just keep my portfolio and refer me to someone. So don't just burn the opportunity. If the person has said, oh, great, you have a good research interest, I know you'll be, you know, good person for this position, but I'm, you know, good person to be in my lab, but I'm not at the moment taking anyone. You can tell them, you can ask them politely that you would appreciate, you know, a referral, right? I've seen people who got funding from referrals from other, you know, faculty members. And I won't dwell so much on how to write cold emails in this video because of time, but if you're interested, if you want me to do a video on how to draft a cold email, I can do an entire video on that because there are a lot of things to share, right? So just let me know in the comment section if it's something that you guys want. And also reach out to someone in the faculty. So if you reach out to all of these professors on your list and nobody is accepting you, just reach out to someone in the faculty. It could be the grad officer, you know, it could be the grad officer of the department. Reach out to them, let them know the challenges you're having. Oh, I've tried to reach out everybody and they're all booked, this, you know, just come to them, you know, relate your challenges to them, and maybe they would give you an advice that would work. Maybe they will find a solution for you. It worked in my case. When I reached out to all of the schools that I have been sending emails to and nobody's responding, I reached out to the grad school officer in my current school now, that's Memorial University. I reached out to the grad school office and I told him that I've been trying to, you know, get those people to see that I'm a good fit to work in their lab, and none of them is accepting me. And the man said, oh, send me your portfolio. If there's a new faculty member, I'm going to share your portfolio with them. Guys, that was what did it for me. I reached out to everybody, nobody accepted me. And then I went to go and start my master's in University of Lagos. 3 months into that program, somebody sent me an email one morning and said, oh, I got your portfolio from the grad officer. I want to know if you're still interested to do a PhD program in Memorial University. I'll be willing to supervise. I'm like, eh? Hey guys, that was the email that changed my life. Let's not go into that. I'll gist you guys at the end of this video. So guys, what other points do I have here? Okay, so like I said, reach out to someone in your faculty. Then another point I'm going to raise is that you should get experience. Remember I said this is competitive. You need to get experience. So even at the end of the day, if the professor says, oh, let's have a chat, and they are chatting with you and you're sounding very off, or you know, you're sounding, I don't want to say daft, but you have to be smart, right? How do you get to that point where you're confident and where when you can be, you know, when you're confident of what you're doing? That's one way of showcasing, or it's gonna boost your, it's gonna make you look more smart. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. When you're confident of what you're saying, you're gonna look smart saying it, right? So get experience or background on the research area of the prospective supervisor. Some people send me their cold email to look at it and they say, I've read your paper and it's fascinating, it's interesting, just that. So what is actually fascinating in the paper? So you want to go extra miles. You want to actually read their paper. Don't just look at the topic and say, I read your paper on XYZ. No, read the paper, look at the methods they've used, look at the results, look at the trend the research is going. Go on Google Scholar, go on ResearchGate, read people's paper. In fact, you can go on Google Scholar and check out trending research topics in that area, something that because all those researchers, they always have something about wanting to do more, right? If I found out that this is the result, they want to go to the next, like right now everybody is doing something on COVID, right? So people want to do like the trending research. If you're in the vaccine industry, my lab, what I'm currently doing now is developing vaccine for the aquaculture industry. And if you're someone in that field, you will know that right now a lot of people are using a lot of techniques, right, to develop vaccine, like reverse vaccinology. People are going into computational vaccinology. So those are, you have to look for things that are trending or contemporary methodologies or research areas, and those are the kind of things you pitch to people, right? Now you're not coming to take over or to turn over their research, but there's a way when you know about the trending things in that research area, you're able to make meaningful contribution, you're able to make impactful contribution. I'll give you an example. In my lab, my supervisor last year, he said, oh, my lab is full, I'm not taking anybody, I don't want anybody in my lab. Guys, from then till now, he has accepted 2 people in the lab. Guess what? Those people came in banging. They knew all the new technologies. There's no way he would say no. The man went to go and look for funding for them. So that's what I'm saying. And how do you know this? Is you know them when you're reading papers, when you're following up with the trending topics, right? So you want to gain experience either via internship, via volunteering or volunteer experience. It could be just self-training. You go do courses, you go do courses. You don't even need to pay. Sometimes all you need to do is watch things on YouTube. I'm going to tell you guys, my lab is a bit off from what my background is. But how do I get things done in the lab? It's not every time you want to be asking people as if you don't know what you're doing. Sometimes, in fact, most of the times, for all the new techniques I do here in my lab, I watch them on YouTube. If you guys know, those of you in biology would know, those of you in microbiology, would know what Western blot is. All those kind of blotting, native blotting and all of those things. I watch them on YouTube. Nobody taught me, right? So watch them on YouTube. Follow the protocols. Most labs have protocols, so what you have to do, you can just watch them and then follow the protocols and you're good to go, right? I didn't even make buffers when I was in school in Nigeria. To make buffers, I did not make. Everything I'm doing, I learned from YouTube. So do you know that there's a way you can watch these techniques on YouTube and you become a professional at it? You've not done it before, you don't have any practical experience, but just theoretically, when you're talking to someone about it, you'll be saying something meaningful, something intelligent, right? That's how you can impact on this, or you can convince, like leave a mark on these professors. Let them be eager, let them be willing to bring you. I hope you guys get where I'm going to. So, like I said, you must make meaningful input, even on your cold email. If you've watched techniques so much, the way you even put it down in your cold email would draw the professor's attention, right? So you have to show eagerness to learn, you have to show eagerness to be trained, because whether you like it or not, PhD is still a training process. The supervisor doesn't want somebody to come and take over their lab, right? So you have to show your willingness, your eagerness to research, to learn, and all of that. And like I said before, create accounts on Google Scholars, ResearchGate, be on LinkedIn, follow these professors on their social media platform, try to reach out to them, attend virtual conferences, webinars, seminars, whatever, right? These days, since COVID happened, a lot of things are online and some of them are free, right? So even if they are not free, even if you're paying to attend, I think it's worth it, right? And also, publications are good, you know, especially now that everything is very competitive. Securing supervisors, getting scholarship is very competitive. So if you're able to, you know, put in 1 or 2 publications, that will be a plus for you. So that is not to discredit those who do not have a publication or to discourage them. I didn't have any single publication. I mean, I had 1 publication, but it was a local journal, and I didn't even put it on my CV. I didn't put it on my CV, but my point is, even though you don't have a publication, you can still make it, right? Don't feel bad about it at all, right? So guys, the last but not the least, in fact, the last but the greatest, pray, pray, and pray. Pray, oh, it gets why. Pray. Because at the end of this day, it's just the grace of God, right? For those of you who are Christian or whatever you believe in. And this is the part where I love to share my story. My story is one filled with grace. I mean, up till today, I still pinch myself and ask myself, am I the one in the slab? What do I even know to deserve to be in the slab? You know, sometimes I feel like I'm the lowest, like I'm the most inexperienced in the lab. In my lab, some people doing their undergraduate thesis, the kind of things they do, that's when I started, not now. The kind of things they do, I'll be asking myself, you know, I don't even know what they are doing. Undergrad though, and me, I came in for PhD. So you can understand how I count myself blessed. It's just grace. Grace is, you know, God just allowing you to have things that you're not qualified for. Because like I said, I did my master's, my undergrad in Nigeria, and I focused solely on fisheries, aquaculture, so it was different. And me coming into a microbiology lab where I'm now making vaccines, like I've never cultured I've never cultured a bacteria before. I learned it. These are things that undergraduates, they know it. Microbiology, if you're in microbiology undergraduate, I'm sure you know how to culture bacteria. I've never used the pipettes before, ever. Like very basic thing, like I said before, even to mix buffers, I don't know how to do it. So I learned everything from the scratch. So tell me, how do you think I was able to convince the professor? Maybe that's why nobody answered me. Yeah, all of them said their labs were full. Some people said they didn't afford this. Some people say, oh sorry. Some people don't even respond to me. So now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that's why, right? Okay, guys, so like I said, when I reached out to everybody and nobody was accepting me, what did I do? I took my portfolio and submitted my portfolio to the grad officer, right? So I submitted my portfolio to the grad officer and I said, I've reached out to everybody in different schools. So in all the schools I applied to, I submitted my portfolio to them. I've reached out to everybody, nobody wants to accept me, you know. So he said, oh, give it to me. When a new faculty member comes in, I'm gonna give them your portfolio. And then I went to start my PhD in Unilag, right? So 3 months down the line, I got this email one morning, the person saying, oh, my name is Javier Santander, and I am reaching out to you because I got your portfolio from Kurt Gampel, who is the grad school officer as at then in ocean science, and I am interested in your portfolio. I see your transcript is really good. That's another importance of having a good transcript. My transcript was really good. I had a 4.3 out of 5, yeah, from my master's. So your transcript is really good. I've gone through all of the work you've done, all of the courses you've taken, and you don't have any experience. He said it. He said you don't have any experience in microbiology. He said it. And the core of this man's lab is microbiology. So he said you don't have any experience in microbiology, but I'm willing to take you and train you if you let me. I say, if I let you, hey Oga, take me. Like, guys, I was so excited. So that was it, and I just responded to him. I'm like, yes. I mean, I didn't even tell him that I was in a PhD in Unilag. I just said, yes, I've been waiting. You know, I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to train. Anything you want. You know, I didn't put it like that, but guys, I accepted the offer. So for me, it was pure grace. And you know, one day I'm going to gist you people. This video is already long. The story, the background, it's a lot of grace. One day I think I'm just going to make a video about the grace the story of me coming to Canada to study. See, my eyes have seen something, but you know, I just thank God that I am here. And that's the point, that's the part where I say pray. When you do your part, see, God sees that you've done your part. God sees the work that you pour into that application, and He will come through for you. If you don't pour in the work, forget it. God has seen me. I've gone to all the schools. God will see the work that you've poured in, and God will reward you. God will give you grace, mercy for you to get in. And trust me, all you need is just one supervisor to say, yes, I'm willing to work with you. That's a game changer. Your entire life changes. Your generation, everything changes. The same way it has changed for me. So guys, I think I've come to the end of this video. I wish you all the best in your application. Before now, I used to review people's cold emails and stuff free of charge. But because of the influx of people, you know, a lot of people, it's not something I do anymore. Again, you don't even really need someone to review your SOP with the whole, your cold email or even your SOP. There are a lot of information out there, a lot, that if you follow them step by step, your cold email will come out, you know, top notch. So we're gonna have, if you guys let me know if you're interested in cold emails, you know, having a session on cold email. And also, if there's any topic that crosses your mind or something that you're confused about, or just questions, you know, I think I'm also going to do a session on question and answer. So if you guys have questions, post the questions here, or go on my social media platform on Twitter, on Instagram, and share, put your questions down there. I'm going to take notes of those questions, and I'm going to make another video where I'm answering all of these questions. I think that's going to be my modus operandi, my mode of operation. I'll gather these questions, I'll make a video, and I'll share it, since I'm not able to respond to everyone one-on-one. Thank you so much guys for watching this video to the end. Please remember to subscribe, remember to like this video, remember to put your comments. Guys, I want to see your comments. How do you guys feel about this video? So if I'm wasting my time, let me just go to my house and I'm in my house, let me just sleep and not bother myself. So let me know how you feel about this video. Share, like, comment, and if you're new, if you're just coming across this video, please subscribe. Okay, bye for now.